Today I'm going to be putting two of the very different smartphones to the test, Pixel 7a and iPhone 14 Pro. Hey, Steven is here. Welcome back to my Pixel 7a series where I test the limits of the phone, mostly as a filmmaker, photographer and everyday user. One phone is priced under $500 while the iPhone 14 Pro is $1,100. And I'm going to focus specifically on their cameras. Let's go. Okay guys, so here I have the iPhone 14 Pro and let's see how this Pixel compares to it. And I'm going to be taking photos in RAW mode on both phones. And we'll start with the 0.5 super wide angle lens. Let's take the shot. I already see the preview quality on the iPhone looks better. Let's see if you guys can spot the difference between these two. Let's go. I'm going to be taking photos in RAW mode on both of these phones. So right now this is X1 camera. This is super wide angle view. And 2x, which is a crop of the main camera. So A was Pixel 7a and B is the iPhone 14 Pro. Alright, so as you see, they're very similar from the first glance. But the longer we look, the easier it will be to tell which one is which. 100% I believe that iPhone has the better super wide angle lens out there. It has much less chromatic aberration compared to other phones. However, if we talk about the main camera, in that case, telling which one is which is extremely difficult. At least in the scenes like this with a lot of light. Alright, now let's test the camera I use least on any phone. Selfie camera test. And the recording started. This is the audio and video quality on the selfie camera on the Google Pixel 7a. And right now you're seeing and hearing me from the iPhone 14 Pro, which is a flagship phone, cost almost 2.5 times more than this one. And so far, judging by just the preview on the phones, they look very similar, at least from what I see. I have a lot of light right now. It's during daytime. Obviously, if we film it in low light environment, maybe an iPhone selfie camera will perform a little bit better. I'm not sure about that. But also I see here that the Google provides the little slight zoom for the selfie camera, which is really cool. I can zoom in and out, just adds a little bit of dramatic movement. That's really cool. Yeah, have a look guys, right here you see there is a mode here, X1 camera, 1.4, X1. This is really nice, by the way. Just a little punch in for that dramatic effect. On the iPhone, there is no such option, but I have to say iPhone feels a little bit more stable. Like the selfie camera feels more stabilized. Yeah, let me know in terms of image stabilization, what do you think? And also in terms of audio quality, how does that sound? I'm in relatively loud environment and I'm using a wireless mic for the main camera. You're hearing the audio right now from this wireless microphone. Yeah, let me know what you think. Oh, also here I see on the Google Pixel phone, there is a voice enhancement feature. It's turned on. Maybe it also helps to bring out more of the voice frequencies from this city noise, because you see behind me I have this tramway and yeah, maybe it's a little bit noisy. For video calls and stuff like this, I think both phones are more than enough, but you let me know in the comments. So iPhone definitely provides a crisper image, but Pixel has the voice isolation mode that really helps to cut out all the city noise. Also, the Pixel selfie camera seems to have wider field of view when taking photos, so if it's important for you, then maybe that helps to make up for all the softer image on the selfie camera. And there's also a mode that I practically never use on any phone, including Pixel 7a, but maybe it is important for you, and it's the beauty filter masks inside the camera app. And it definitely made me look super weird. Yeah, that's the word. Okay, now let's jump into my favorite part of this video, testing the Pixel's main camera. Okay guys, now this place is super magical. I just spent like 5-10 minutes just fascinating with this bird. The cool part about this gimbal and the whole setup is that it has built-in selfie stick, so I can extend it like this and get further away from myself. Yeah, in that way I will not be disturbing the bird too much, and also I can tilt the whole setup like this. And if that's not enough, I can also go upside down, inverted mode, and get the camera closer to the ground. I will be just zooming in with this rocker like this, okay? Because this phone actually in this app for some reason has only 1x camera option, but still the zoom option is available. Let me drag the box around the bird and let's walk and activate the zoom at the same time. Okay, oh, this is really close. Yeah, when you zoom that close, the image falls apart a little bit. So the maximum quality is obviously at 1x camera. Yeah, and get this shot. If we're looking at the footage side to side, iPhone looks a bit crisper with better background separation to my taste. However, the Pixel seems to have a bit wider main lens and therefore capturing more inside the frame. And that also affects how much of blurry background you're getting. But where the line between the two phones is really blurred is in the photo mode. So also if you want to take the photo with the Google Pixel stock app, you will be lacking some of the functions and buttons here on the gimbal, but there is a trick to take the photo. I will be just using auto timer, 3 seconds like this, raw photo, okay? And I will press the shutter button like this, 3, 2, 1. So you see, I'm not actually getting too close to the bird myself, like my whole body is further out, but the phone getting closer to it. Now with this photo, I like the image better from the Pixel 7a. Not only the colors look more natural, but also there is no over-sharpening. So that leads me to an interesting and logical thought that iPhone has overall better lenses and coatings of their cameras, better hardware, and the price shows that. But Google has better processing of the image, giving more natural and pleasant results in some scenarios, so better software. Now we talk about portrait mode. In that case, iPhone is a loser in my opinion. Not because the image is bad, but because once you took the photo, you just left with it and you can't make any adjustments. On the Pixel 7a though, you can make a portrait shot out of any photo. You can adjust the blur of background, control which part is in focus and which part is blurred. So overall, I think even the camera and lenses in the materials of the iPhone is better, but the Pixel can take it to the next level just because of the software. But hey, it's just my opinion. If you also think that Pixel can take on the iPhone, right below the software feature is game-changing. Now let's compare the camera interface on both iPhone 14 Pro and Pixel 7a. Let's start with the iPhone. You see all the manual controls you have here. You just press the screen and it's the exposure adjustment. That's about it. All you can do is just change the brightness of the photo or video. Then with the Pixel 7a, there are a whole lot of adjustments here. You see, if I go to camera, then I press on the screen, I can adjust my temperature, make the image cooler or warmer. Also, I can adjust my exposure, same as on the iPhone, and I can adjust the contrast as well. Little things like this in the software make this phone super fun to use. It's always great to have full control over the camera settings, whether you're taking photos or filming videos. Okay, so here is one of the key features when you're filming with mobile phones such as this one. What you have to do, lock your exposure, because look what happens if you just use auto settings. I will just show you with and without this setting so you can see the difference. All right, so I want to get a reveal shot. I start right here and I walk very slow even though I'm using stabilizer. I want to get this reveal. All right, now done. And you see, sometimes you get from darker areas, such as this one in the beginning of the shot, the exposure needs to be bumped a little bit. But when I get this reveal, the sky is too bright for this exposure. And in that case, you can see the exposure changes and it's not really nice. So what I usually do, I go to the end of my shot, I press on the screen to lock my exposure like this. Okay, so I lock the exposure. You can also adjust it just a little bit. I drag it down like so, and maybe white balance as well. I can make it warmer just a little bit because I like this feeling better. And then I walk back in the frame and start my shot from here, but my exposure is already locked at the place of the end of our shot. Okay, so 3, 2, 1, and I go. Just like this. Okay, perfect. And this is the result. This is the final shot and it looks amazing, looks much better. You let me know, of course. Probably there are some people who would prefer the automatic changes and they will say, well, I prefer this kind of shot, but in my opinion, it's always better to get the full control over your exposure. In that case, you get more professional looking video. All right, so this is the image and audio quality from the Pixel 7a. Right now, the conditions for this shot is a little bit more challenging because the sun is right behind me, and even though it's not full sun on right now, we have more of an overcast day, but still the dynamic range here supposed to be a little bit more challenging for a tiny sensor like this one. And also let me know what do you think about the audio quality when filming like this. This is the audio recorded directly through the phone, and now you're hearing the audio that's recorded through the wireless microphone, which is supposed to be a little bit more clear. So you let me know which one you prefer, the phone audio or the wireless microphone. Oh yeah, almost fell here. Now, after using this phone in different variety of scenarios, I have to say that it gives the best results in well-lit environment. Though the super wide-angle lens suffers from chromatic aberration and is sharper in the center of the photo, leaving the corners a bit blurry. Why even bother testing the Pixel 7a against the flagships like this? I think it's worth comparing other cheaper phones just to see that they're not too far behind, and actually in many cases and scenarios, the Pixel 7a exceeded the iPhone in terms of AI and things like Magic Eraser and editing your photos. And at this point, I'm sure for a lot of people out there, there is no reason to overpay for flagships like iPhone 14 Pro when we have an option like Pixel 7a available. Alright, thank you so much for watching, and meanwhile make sure to watch this video next about the Pixel 7a, since it dives deep into its camera's capabilities and AI features like Magic Eraser. So make sure to watch it, I think it will be perfect for you. Yeah, and I will see you there. Bye bye. I have a train to catch.